Call the St. John Park Board meeting for September 2024 to order. Go ahead and stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mike Moffitt.
Here.
Stephanie Griesbaum.
Here.
Eric Belisca.
Here.
Pat Conley. Mayor Roberts.
Excuse me. Number 4, approval of minutes. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes from August 27th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from August 27th.
We have a motion by Eric. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second by Stephanie. All in favor of approving the minutes signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Old business. Gates Park updates. Mr. Schilling?
Thank you. Dave Schilling, Robinson Engineering. We now have 3 phases of Gates Park. Phase 1 was the completion of the south loop of the path. That was done in probably early July. We are still holding 10% retainage, making sure all the seating and everything comes through. Other than that, phase 1 is essentially complete. Phase 2, probably about 95% complete. They put the colored coating on the pickleball courts at the end of last week. Kind of holding off, wait to see what the town wants to do about like a grand opening or something like that, because the contractor says, once you put those nets up, people are going to show up and start playing. So I think we've been working with Gabe trying to do like a grand opening or something like that. Should be very soon, like in the next couple weeks. Similar to phase 2, kind of just doing some kind of cleanup work with the restoration seating. It's still very dry to put new seed or sod down. And then we're going to clean up the concrete a little bit, square off some of the edges, add a couple new squares, and do those via a change order just to give a little finishing touches, and then phase 2 will be done. Phase 3, after your favorable recommendation, after the bid opening last meeting, town council did award that to Midwestern Electric. I picked up those contracts yesterday, so we should be looking at a pre-construction meeting in the next couple weeks. And once they order the materials, we should have a better handle on when those lights can be installed. That is for lighting at both the skate park and the pickleball courts.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
One quick question. That the Cavett Concrete and Carpentry, is that anything to do with you guys or no?
It is not, no.
All right, new business. Looking for a motion to approve the contracts for the music for the 2024 Farmers Market.
I'll make a motion to approve the independent contractor agreement for the music at the farmers markets.
Got a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed with an A. And it's carried. B, approval of the Zumba classes by Kelly. Looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the Zumba classes.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor of approving the Zumba classes signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed with an A. And it's carried. Letter C, approval of the contract agreement for the pickleball classes will be a raise from $30 to $35. Looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the independent contractor agreement for pickleball classes with Jennifer Hall from Pickle Time.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed with an A. That's carried. Letter D, consider request to purchase for Cavett Concrete and Carpentry for repairs of the skate park. You know anything about this, or?
That's a good question.
I mean, it looks like there's a lot of cracks and stuff going through
Just to fix some stuff and clean it up.
it's going through,
He also is doing stuff with the new trails. I know that's in the later
Yeah.
parts of it, but I know that for sure.
but basically, it looks like it's the upkeep on this, and I think it's definitely something that we need.
Yes,
Because otherwise,
I agree.
especially going into the winter, we're gonna get water in there, it'll actually start cracking.
And then it'll be
really bad.
worse.
So,
Yeah, I agree.
looking for a motion for that purchase.
I'll make a motion to consider request for Kavic Concrete and Carpentry for repairs to the skate park, $9,650.00.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed with an A. And that's carried. Letter E. Consider request to purchase for Holland Asphalt Services for the Pearwood Drive path for $13,900.
So I'm not, I mean, I obviously can read what it says on here. It's just to connect from the neighborhood to the walking path.
That's how I read it.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's something major. The price is,
No, I remember they were talking about doing that.
yeah,
I have no problem with it. I just wish I had something to look at for that one.
and they were the lowest quote. So they were 13,900. The next one was 14,300 for the same service. And then it was even higher for the third one. So they are the lesser of all the quotes.
I'm looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve Holland Asphalt Services Incorporated in the amount of $13,900.00.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed with a nay. And it's carried. Letter F, consider request to purchase for cam seal coating for maintenance cracks at Gates Park. Gabe, could you, this is kind of on both, for the seal coating and for the Colin Allison acoustics, cutting out the cracks and everything. Well, I kind of figured they're just gonna go cut the cracks out, all the caulk and everything. Is this resealing of the same?
Correct. So this is gonna be the old light trail, will be resealed. This is going under just basic maintenance.
Mhm.
This trail is 24 years old, this will keep it in good shape. Match the other side that we just put in.
All right, perfect. And then for the skate park, that's, because we already approved it?
Separate contract.
What's
Yes.
that? But just for that one, because we were like trying to figure out what it was, but I'm guessing it's all the
That's for
cracks.
maintenance as well, correct?
Just filling the cracks, so they don't crack in the winter and get moisture and everything.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. That's what we thought it was. I was just, since you're here, I didn't want to ignore you.
And the CAMS was the lowest of the quotes that they received, so.
All right, looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to request purchase for CAM seal coating for maintenance at the gates, $6,898.00.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of the request to purchase, signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed with an A. It's purchased. Letter G. Consider request to purchase for Redbud Landscaping Services for the skate park walking path. Gabe, can you,
So this is gonna be for overseeding and dirt, for the dirt that didn't take along the skate park area. This is to basically get the whole look and have it to the best of its ability as far as what it's supposed to be. Again, there are 3 poles in there, I believe, too.
Yes.
So it's supposed to lowest of the 3.
Yep.
As part of the basic maintenance plan as well.
is this like where they put in the new paths, like all that area, or it's just pretty much basically the whole thing?
From bike trail to bike trail, so.
Okay.
The whole length of that skate park is gonna be from bike trail to bike trail. Up against all the concrete, where like it got, all washed away, they're gonna add dirt to it and seed and blanket. Now, it protects that concrete.
Do they water it, or do we do that,
We
or?
already watered it, yeah, spill watered it when it first got in, but, you know, sometimes it doesn't take all at once.
Especially in the fall, hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler.
Mhm.
Should take pretty good.
We are in season for this be, like, put down, so we're at a good time for
Okay.
Sounds good.
it. We'll stand right here.
All right.
And compared to the other two quotes, this one was good. The other two prices that he got for that.
All right, so I'm looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to consider request to purchase Red Bud Landscaping Services in the amount of $5,422.31.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify with an aye. Opposed with an A. And it's carried. I just had one other thing. I know Gabe's been working on it. We're having issues with the lights on our baseball fields.
Yes.
The Babe Ruth, or not Babe Ruth, it's right here, Civic. We've been having issues there for years. I know Gabe and Billy have been working on it. They got a company come out there, I think it was Austin or whatever. They kind of came out, obviously there's more issues than just the lights. Babe Ruth, it sounds like there's a lot more issues than just the lights. You want to kind of give a little better update on that?
Okay, so Babe Ruth Field, we have one whole post that's out. That's four posts. There's 12, there's about 10 lights out on that. We've assessed that it's gonna be a bad wire, so it's pulling the wire from the top to the bottom and then changing the bulbs and the ballast probably. I did get a rough estimate today, by the end of the day, we're looking at about $10,000 to get every light back on. I have 13, it's for 13 lights. It's $5,000 to rent the lift because it's so high up there. It's 80 feet up. They went there with their bucket truck, they're about 5 feet short.
That's how it is,
They
right?
came out within 15 minutes of me calling them, so
That's good.
that's I could hope for.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Civic, it's old, it's been worked on by moms and dads and over the years, you know, and piecing it together. The 6 lights, we got 3 repaired today. They changed ballast, they changed everything, and it's not working. So they gotta take apart some of the wiring, redo it again. I'm not sure if it's something that we wanna tackle this year, because it's not our main field. This is gonna run us some money to tackle this old infrastructure. I did get some rough quotes, worst case scenario, on the phone today for people I've been working with. To transfer over to all LED. Again, this is worst case scenario for like softball, it'd be $89,000. For Babe Ruth, it'd be $79,000. For Civic, it'd be $45,000. They did say if we did it all together, we'd get anywhere from 10 to 15% off. What they do for us, what this company does, is they get the rebates from NIPSCO, that brings the price down. These are with the rebates from NIPSCO.
Are the other lights on the Heartland baseball fields LED yet?
Musco still covered under warranty
Okay.
until 2030.
Okay. But those aren't LED there, right?
That was before LED basically came out.
Okay.
The lights at Babe Ruth and girls softball predate that. And Civic predates both of those.
Yeah.
So,
Did they say how long the LED lights will last for, roughly what the,
we usually get like 3 times the amount of light. Right now, we're getting killed on is that we have nothing to reach that high. So as far as Babe Ruth and everything out at that area, those poles are way too high, so you're gonna have to bring out bigger equipment, which we don't have. And we won't get, because it's not feasible for us to do it just for that.
Right.
Civic Park, we're short by like 8 feet with our bucket truck.
So then they'll charge, because they're gonna have to get
every time they
something
gotta come out?
to bring it out here to do everything.
It comes on a semi-truck, correct?
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense then, if we're gonna do it, just do it all at once, so we're not getting charged every time they
Right.
have to bring
I'm not saying that we have to do it this year.
Bring that out.
but something that we should-
It's just something
To
get
think
thinking-
about,
Just
yeah.
get something thinking about, so that everybody knows we are trying to figure out something and.
correct,
But it's not as easy as just calling someone and say, please come out and change this light.
Right.
right.
Right, absolutely right. That's just, like I said, Gabe's been working on this for a couple of weeks. so, I
Correct.
mean- And I mean, he says every year we're calling people out to fix the lights, if it's costing us $4,000 or $5,000.
Well, Civic's been a problem for
For years,
a
right.
decade.
Correct, and we've made some gains on it, but we're not there yet. We stopped kids from getting into the panel, which helps.
And adults.
But now we have aging.
No, for like getting grants or something, who would look into that? Would that be, I mean, is there anything even like that out there, or is that kind of what they're doing by getting their own grant through NIPSCO?
Correct.
So that's, they're kind of getting, okay.
You save energy for us as a town or area
Mhm.
from our power grid, they give you a rebate and going from there to the like newer style lights.
So what do we need to do? I know obviously we can't purchase this right now, we gotta figure out what's going on, but
We need to keep talking about it. I mean, your first step of action is, do you want to fix Babe Ruth this year?
that's, what'd you say, 13?
That's $10,000, up, just short of $10,000,
Just for the one.
just for the one field.
Mhm.
But didn't you say if we did it all at once, it would be, we'd
That's
get
not
it?
LED,
That's not, that's just
Oh,
fixing the
that-
light that's
Just
there.
fixing what's there right now.
Fixing the
That's where we're kind of,
13.
we're kind of meeting this, like, do we still want to keep throwing money into this, or do we need to say,
Yeah.
So let me ask you
let's
guys
finish this
this,
season out
because you're baseball guys, so let me ask this. So the season is gonna come to an end
in a
soon?
month, in a month?
Okay, so is it, are you able to, is it usable?
They're still usable, yes. It's
Okay.
dark in left field, but it's still usable.
It's still usable.
It seems like
And
we'd
then-
be almost throwing away 10,000.
And then
That-
tackle
that's-
it.
I'm in agreement.
Yeah.
But then we're kind of saying we're jumping into the, you know, whatever it's gonna be. And I think we'd have to be doing three of them. We'd be doing Civic, Girls, and Babe Ruth, I think you said.
Correct.
I think just doing them all together would be the smart move, because again.
That's how I look at it.
I almost don't know, spending $10,000 for 4 weeks,
To fix one light for, right.
when you're gonna take them out anyways, to
Right.
replace them with LED lights, just doesn't make any fiscal sense.
Does it change any of the panels, like the big, because remember how we're having the one, I think we talked about this, like the contactors were sticking or something?
So basically, when you go to LED, from my understanding, is you cut off the ballast, and the ballast is the problem with wiring right now. So
That's what
you
keeps-
got From the middleman in that process. Once you do that, you're gonna cut the risk of having stuff break as often. So basically, like having a ballast is from what these guys are telling me, this is, the Booter over here at Civic, and then Ocean Electric over there at Kirtland Field. Basically, you're cutting out the middleman and one less thing to break.
It's like you're taking out a bunch of parts that you don't need anymore that need maintenance.
Right.
Well, part that breaks the most.
Yeah,
And it's a lot cheaper to run them.
I'm
Right.
just saying that that's what the market's going to, is all LED.
Mhm.
And of course, we all know this, I mean, this is not something new.
right.
Well, the question is then, I guess, I mean, obviously, we gotta discuss it, but how do they know, you said it's gonna take a minute for them to get out here. Will it be ready in April, when they're gonna be needed when the spring season starts?
As far as you're talking about LED lights.
Yeah. Like, how much lead time do we need on that?
Well, we have to see if we have the money.
Yeah.
Well, besides the money, I'm
So
just
we
saying,
might
but I'm
not-
talking about lead time as
But
well.
I'm saying
like-
we might not even be able to get anything till January. So until we give them some amount of money, they might not even put us on the
Yeah.
books. Then we're talking winter.
Yeah, because they're not gonna be able to do it in
This all
January.
happened today, by the way.
Gabe, when do you,
People were getting them out of here, getting estimates, just to give you guys options, because I figured this would, that's not tough.
do you have an idea of when, if we're able to get the LED lighting, what is your time frame on when you think that that should be done?
Based on the parking lot lights that we just did,
Mhm.
about 3 months. To get poles, not even poles, to get wiring, to get lights,
Yeah,
to get the guy to do it. About 3 months. That's based on the last experience I had.
Yeah.
It changed.
right.
Are the ones at Civic usable at all right now, or is it?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
using- yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're using-
That's what I'm saying. I think there were 6 out. They replaced 3 of them today.
It fixed.
There's
yeah.
3 of them.
So they're still usable
Yeah.
in a pinch, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Everything's still usable. But the thing is, yeah, it would be great, like, they shut down in October and let's do everything then. I don't think that's,
I don't think that's possible.
financially, I don't think that's gonna be possible. Then it's gonna put us into next year, so say we do it May, whenever we do it, we're going to be in some type of season. But I think we could work through that. It's, It's growing
Yeah,
pains.
because
We
they could.
need it.
Yeah. You could, yeah.
I think I'm all for doing the LED lights at all the parks and all that. And like Gabe said, everything's getting old. So what's gonna happen is, sure, they've fixed some of these things, but all of a sudden,
Right.
you're so
month
outdated
later,
and
yeah.
like the stuff that is there now is here, and then we're talking the LED, which will make a huge difference, cost, all that.
And I know the pole that we're talking about isn't even the pole that we're having problems with. This one has something wrong with it where we only have a couple lights working on it.
Correct.
That, the light 3 on the left field, or the third base line, we've been having issues with that for years. We know there's some major problem with that.
In there, mhm.
And we're not even addressing that yet.
So we spoke earlier, and the guy did the testing and everything, he said, the pole that's the problem is right there, the pole that you're talking about, he said, but every light's on. He said, that pole has a problem. I don't know what the problem is, but something's wrong with that pole. And you were telling me about it sparking and causing a fire or something like that.
Well, I know 3 times since I've been around, they've had to fix that. One time Lehman did it, but 1 or 2 times the town had their people do it, whoever did whatever. But basically a contact, I don't know what that is, but it's like, it's almost like a fuse where it engages and disengages, where it actually welds itself almost together. And it was quite expensive to fix it both times, or all 3 times. And that's what was wrong with that pole. So there's obviously something's shorting out there. And they say what happens is 20 years of the wires running 50 feet, however tall those poles are, stretching poles going like that.
moving
they're
and all
ripping them,
that,
so now
yeah.
you get exposed wires. I mean, me personally, I definitely think we should move forward, getting the bids, getting like 3 bids, everything going towards LEDs on all 3 fields.
And I
That's my opinion.
And I agree with Stephanie, it's like, you just do it because this duct tape and Band-Aid stuff is gonna cost us more money in the long run
Correct.
than if just
Right.
doing it right the first time.
And then getting, like Gabe said, he gave an estimate, what he has for all 3 parks. So I talked with him, and if you get them all done, then we'll get a little
Like technically,
Discount.
bit off.
Right.
Instead of, oh, let's do this one. Because in the long run, you'll pay more
Yeah.
than grouping it all as one.
you
Correct.
can shop this
So-
out to other people too, like use this guy just because he does all the work, that's what he's doing in Minstrel and getting the rebate.
Yep.
It's easier now.
Yeah,
And I was just saying that because,
I'm sure there's other
people will be like, did you get any other estimates on this? That was the only reason I was saying that. And then obviously, we have to make sure that it's financially affordable, but,
So the reason why I brought up the actual fix right now is because if we went down that route, of spending that 8 or 10 grand, is because our weather's so nice right now, we can get the equipment out there this upcoming week and get this fixed right away for that one field. That's the only reason that I'm actually bringing that up. 'Cause if you're gonna be, like, go that route with that money for that fix for that field this year, now's the time to do it because this weather's incredible. Being dry and that we get equipment out there.
and that light is what you're saying that makes it dark. So-
darker, yes, it's definitely
so
darker. I mean, there's
if-
a lot of lights out there, but it's.
If the following season rolls around next year, and that light is still there and it's not fixed and it's left the way that it is, and hopefully it still works, the
Right.
few bulbs that are still on, that's what he's asking.
Well, it's still
Oh, right, but I mean,
playable
that's
though,
kinda
right?
what-
I mean,
Yeah.
It's still playable because it's just that far left one.
Definitely.
I mean, it's not ideal, but it's playable.
And that's what I'm thinking. I think we're trying to prevent paying that $10,000.
Correct.
Right.
Of not fixing that light and hoping it doesn't go out. Then if
And-
it does, we're kind of like, oh no. But the
It's
season
either-
ends at second,
correct.
3rd week of October.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. If you can hold off and let it go, and then if there is a problem when the new season starts, then it'll have to be addressed at that time. But hopefully it will be okay, and then we can figure out what's happening with the LED lights, and then there's the good stuff
Right.
out on the fields at all the parks for 'em.
So we've already spent some money with softball this year, with their lights.
Mhm.
We didn't get a chance to fix them all because we couldn't get into the cornfield because it was too wet. That's, both goals are fixed there. So I think we were able to get with the truck with that because they're just 8 feet shorter than the other one maybe.
Yeah,
And they move stone. So we are spending money steadily every year and getting trucks out here and getting.
to fix the lights.
But if we went LED, we're not going to have those issues.
We'll cut those costs out.
Right.
It's not gonna be the end all be all.
Right,
Correct.
but we won't be calling them out every year for 10, 12, 15,000.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that we should get like a Cadillac of lights, we should get the base LED lights, because it's better than what we got now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm definitely for that, depending on the finances.
Yeah, I agree with that. So what do you think about this, fixing this light?
Well, I think part of it is we're not wanting to because
The money being spent
We're
for
gonna
it,
try
and
to save that
you want to get the
8 or 10
other, correct.
into putting into next year and just leaving it as is for now. That one, I mean, the Babe Ruth field.
But I do understand,
Those coming in, before they're coming out for 2-3 hours, they came with the truck and I'll be diagnosing everything.
I do understand Gabe's point though, because the ground is so hard right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's easy
they
to
can
get-
fix
'cause
it.
And in the spring, if we had to fix it,
Well, I mean,
you're probably not getting a truck back there.
We're saying if we do go through with it,
then we have a little more time, then we have a little more time to do the LED thing.
correct. that's
Because we
part
fixed-
of it, summer before the ground hardens up.
Right.
Two
Mhm.
issues here.
Yeah.
See, if the LED thing wasn't even on the table.
And again, that, we're just starting that. I don't, like I said, I don't even know where that's
Right.
in our budget for next year.
Right, but just
It
the
might not be for
conversation of
2
having,
years, right.
yeah, it might not be possible for 2 years, so then you have to keep everything maintained and working properly
Right.
for the kids, so they can see what's going on out there. I mean,
So for this time, let's get the lights fixed. Let's go out there, get everything fixed now, but
yeah,
let's go ahead and start the process of
that's where I'm
what we
leaning
need to
to.
do for the LEDs.
Because if
getting
it
them-
doesn't happen for a couple years, you still need what you have,
All right,
and it needs to work properly.
somebody want to make that motion? It could be 2 different ones, or however you want to do it,
So,
or not yet.
I believe, if you choose to go down that route, you, since I don't have a quote,
Mhm.
just have like a rough estimate on the phone. This was all done today with me meeting with that contract, this contract, this guy, just to see what the options were for you guys. You have to give some kind of motion for me to spend up to X amount of money on this project for that field. And I believe it'd be up to $10,000 on that field.
That's to get the Babe Ruth fixed now.
To fix it
Okay,
now.
all right.
Mhm. So that's what we would have to
That would be
do.
the first one we need to,
So what he's saying is we need to make a motion for him to
Correct.
be able to
to be able
do
to spend
that.
up to.
Because it's
Is
not,
10,000 enough?
Maybe Ocean Electric, so maybe use Ocean. I'm not gonna have them come out
and then choose somebody.
and choose someone else
Mhm.
because they came out within 15 minutes.
No, what I'm saying is that enough? With 10,000, or do you need
10,000.
12,000? Okay,
Yes. Not to exceed, I guess, 10,000.
all right. Someone like to make that
Or
one?
you guys can wait and roll the dice for next year. I mean, it's 50/50.
I have a feeling that getting the LED lights is gonna be a longer process than what we think. So I don't want the lights not to work, and now
Right.
the ground's good, get them, they came out, they looked at it, they diagnosed it, they can fix it.
Then we can take our time a little bit with the LEDs and make sure we do it right.
Yeah,
Get who you think we should get. That makes sense.
I'm good with it. I'm good with that.
okay, let me just take a note here of what I'm gonna say with this motion. That's at the Babe Ruth Field.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion for Gabe Hernandez to fix the Babe Ruth Field lights, cost not to exceed $10,000. Is
Is that everything, or?
that good?
Leave that be for Ocean Electric.
For Austin Electric.
We approve Ocean Electric.
Okay.
Okay, you want to read it again?
Motion for Austin Electric to fix the lights at the Babe Ruth Field, cost not to exceed $10,000.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify with an aye.
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 All opposed with an A, and it's carried. So then we're looking for a motion to move forward with specking out or whatever we need to do for the LED lights for the 3 fields, right? to get the price, to get everything lined up. I mean, we're gonna have to have other bids more than one, and just start the process, get going on the process of that.
So make a motion to start the bid process for LED lights?
And figuring out where we're gonna get it in the budget, just to start the process correct.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion to start the process of getting bids for the LED lights at our fields, Heartland, girls softball, and Civic.
And Babe Ruth.
And Babe Ruth. I thought you said that for the beginning.
All right. We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed with a nay. And that's carried. I think that was it for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 7, reports and correspondence. Any board members have anything?
No,
Nope.
sir.
I don't either. Any town staff, you have anything, Gabe?
Yes, I do. So, as you know, you had 3 separate bids up there for 3 separate things that we're doing at the Gates Park. Here's the 4th one. I got those in. Unfortunately, it's not apples to apples. This is for us planting trees at the Gates complex. I brought out 2 local vendors, Elsup and Leo's. They brought their people out due to it being such a big project and gave me their best pitch. I gave them each the same parameters on what we wanted, but they were gonna use from their stock. They're not gonna go out and buy new trees, because going into like fall, they're winding down. So basically, it wasn't apples to apples, there's a slight like price difference. There's a slight species difference based on what they have, and size difference in their trees that they were carrying. So this is what offset the price, that and one thought there should be less trees and one thought there should be more trees. So what I'm asking is to have some time to go through this and then authorize me again to pick one of the 2 out of those 2 quotes to what best suits that park.
What do you think as far as the amount of less or more trees?
It's not less or more, it's what they're offering, 'cause during their pitches, some came up with different stuff, so I didn't want to tell them, well, so-and-so offered this, you know what I mean, because it doesn't work that way. So basically, I need time to go through it and line up the trees, who has bigger trees, smaller trees. I mean, the pricing's neck and neck on some of the stuff. And some of the stuff's one beats the other one out, and some of the stuff the other one beats the other one out. But some have like bigger size trees, some's offering more products with the trees. So I just need time to go over it and shoot that out. I think the max would be, I want to say up to $20,000, but that's the whole complex. The trees are expensive. We spent, I think, $8,000 a couple of years ago putting trees in, and that's for like one section of the property. This is gonna cover the entire, my complex.
Okay, so then we would basically need to say you're going to choose the correct place, what you think is going to be best.
Or the other option is to have another board meeting earlier on. The reason I say this is because we're coming into the fall season,
Mhm.
and I don't want to miss my planting season. So we can do 2 things. You guys want to have another meeting, we can come and reconvene, and you can choose then.
What would you prefer to do? Because you'll need time.
I trust Gabe, like.
I do too,
knowing
to
what we
pick
want
the
and what
right
we need.
stuff.
I'll just
Yeah.
do whatever you want to do. Like, I'll come back again and I'll go over it, we'll go over it again if you guys want to do that. That's okay with me, but if you want, I mean, it looks like maybe a week to go through it.
Yeah, to be honest with you, he knows what he's doing when it comes to all this stuff, so I'm confident that he'll choose the correct, what he thinks will be best for there. So I'm okay with that.
They're both good vendors.
Mhm.
They're highly rated people in the area, you know, those are the 2 best ones, so I went with them.
Mhm.
I'm fine with authorizing it. Yeah, 'cause like I said, I'm,
Not to exceed 20,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
For a motion?
I will make a motion for Gabe Hernandez to compare two quotes for the trees for the Gates Park, not to exceed $20,000. Does that work? Okay.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed with a nay. And it's carried. Anything else, Gabe?
I'll give you some updates. We've been working on a lot of stuff here, been working with Dave over here, he's been a big help. This guy's been working hard on some programs, and he's been doing a good job. Everything's flowing, everything's moving. We're moving fast, but we are moving. So that's good news.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for our Christmas in the Park coming up. That's going to be playing right now. Blue Bash is coming up, that's going to be fun. We have like the Fishing Derby and Hopalooza, which they've been working on pretty hard. So I think it's going to be quite good. We get some events out there, we're busy. So I think that's always a good thing to be busy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree.
Thank you, Gabe.
Thanks, Gabe.
thank you.
Anybody else with the town staff? Anybody else, town manager? Payment of the bills. Looking for a motion to pay the bills of $251,675.25.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills, $251,675.25.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor of paying the bills signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed with an A. And it's carried. Public comment? Anybody out there? Any public? Looking for a motion for adjournment.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
I will second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of adjournment signify with an aye.
Aye.
All opposed, an A.
Thanks, guys.